What's up guys, it's Tommy here and welcome to a brand new Liverpool news video, and I come with you guys with a shocking development. James Pearce and Dominic King, two journalists with very close ties to Liverpool, are reporting that Liverpool could sell club captain, Liverpool legend Jordan Henderson this summer or next summer because of his age, and we are hitting a wall with contract negotiations with regards to Jordan Henderson's new contract. He's still under contract for 2 years, but according to the report, and James Pearce is basically getting fed information coming from the club, probably from the owners or whoever is responsible for negotiating contracts, and it's not Jurgen Klopp, because Jurgen Klopp doesn't want Henderson to leave the club. He wants Henderson to retire at Liverpool, and Jurgen Klopp didn't want Wijnaldum to leave the club. He wanted Wijnaldum to stay, but Liverpool don't hand the contract negotiations to Jurgen Klopp. Somebody else is doing that. What do you think about that? Because James Milner and Adrian, who are both well over 30 years old, got new contracts recently, and Jordan Henderson could be sold as early as this summer. According to the report, Paris Saint-Germain and Atletico Madrid are interested in buying Jordan Henderson, and I think it's an absolute disgrace. It would be an absolute travesty if Henderson couldn't retire at Liverpool, but we have seen this time and time again with Liverpool. Wijnaldum is the best case, but also Steven Gerrard. I was absolutely furious when Gerrard wasn't getting a new contract, and it was basically sugar-coated, like Gerrard didn't want to sit on the bench, which is true. But if Gerrard got a new contract with good terms, and if he was valued by the football club more, then he would have retired at Liverpool. And Jordan Henderson, according to the report, could be a surprise departure from Liverpool. It absolutely breaks my heart. If there is one player who deserves a new contract at Liverpool besides Mo Salah, it's Jordan Henderson. He's not only one of our most important midfielder, but he's also a leader, a legend, a club captain. In the dressing room and off the pitch, he is doing so important, so valuable work. He's even more important than Wijnaldum was to Liverpool, and I just don't get it. Like, if FSG and the Liverpool hierarchy thinks that once a player hits 30 or 31 years old, he's finished. At least that's what it seems like, or at least we don't want to give them big contracts. I mean, James Milner is on a pretty big contract, if I'm not mistaken. He's earning what, like 150k weekly wages, or maybe even more. So I don't understand. James Milner is like 35, 36 years old, and he got a new contract. So why doesn't Jordan Henderson get a new contract? Footballers are not finished when they are 30, 31 years old. Some of the best players in the world are well above 30, and they are still performing absolutely to an insane level. Robert Lewandowski, Messi, Cristiano Ronaldo, Toni Kroos, I could go on and on. So many great players performing well above 30 years old. So I don't get this notion that Liverpool don't want to pay their players good wages. The report states, at the end of last season, Henderson and Liverpool started contract negotiations, but James Pearce reported that the contract negotiations have gone nowhere, because it looks like there is a big difference between what Henderson wants and what Liverpool are offering him, which I think is absolutely a travesty. It's a disgrace, whatever word you want to call it. It's unacceptable for Liverpool, modern day, like, biggest legend, apart from Steven Gerrard, Jordan Henderson, to not get a new contract and to not get what he deserves, which is a big new contract, and he should retire at Liverpool. I think it's absolutely unacceptable, and I just want to analyze this with a cold head, because when I first read this news, I was fuming. I was absolutely livid, out of my mind, but now I calmed down a little bit. That's why I waited a few hours to calm down. So let's look at it from an analytical standpoint. Jordan Henderson right now is 31 years old, and he is one of the first names names on the team sheet, and not only is he important on the pitch, but off the pitch, the way that he's leading this team, the way that he led his team to a Champions League, to a Premier League, to two other big trophies, is really, really exemplary. And also, everybody that you ask, they speak of the highest compliments, the highest praise that Jordan Henderson is getting from pretty much everyone who knows him and who have played with him. And he's only one of 5 players who to play 10 seasons in the Premier League for Liverpool, and he has been pretty much the driving force behind Liverpool's recent success. But according to the report from Dominic King, he's saying that there is now a real possibility that Jordan Henderson could leave this summer. Atletico Madrid and PSG are monitoring the situation, and they will move for Henderson if the opportunity arises. So if Liverpool are not careful, we could upset Jordan Henderson so much that he could be asking for a transfer. And I can't believe that this is actually a scenario. What is FSG thinking? And also, what is the thought process behind leaking this or telling journalists this information? Because this will just piss off pretty much the whole fan base, apart from a few percent who are probably fine with Henderson being sold at 31 years old. I mean, if you are in that camp, I don't know. I want to hear from you. What is your thought process? Do you seriously think that Liverpool can replace Henderson? Yes, some of you guys might not rate him as highly as I do, but you can't measure the contribution by Henderson off the pitch. You can't measure his leadership. You can't measure how much he organizes this Liverpool team off the pitch and also on the pitch. The way he leads, the way he shouts at people, the way he praises people during the game, the way he helps young players settling in. I mean, Jordan Henderson is one of the most important players in this Liverpool team, and when Liverpool are missing Jordan Henderson, you can see how much we miss his leadership. And also, can anybody explain how Adrian and James Milner are getting new contracts when they are like 30, 34, 35, 36 years old, and Jordan Henderson doesn't when he's only 31? Yes, I understand that Adrian's contract and Milner's contract is not as big, but they are nowhere near the player of Jordan Henderson, and this is so significant, because what will Salah think? What will Van Dijk think? What will Alisson think? What will all of the senior players think watching how Liverpool treat their biggest legend, Jordan Henderson? Right now, in this Liverpool team, the biggest legend in my eyes is Jordan Henderson. And of course, Paris Saint-Germain manager Mauricio Pochettino is a huge fan of Henderson's aggressive style, and he wants to add more dynamism to a squad that wants to win the Champions League. That is what the report is saying, and Paris Saint-Germain would have no problems giving Henderson a huge amount of money, huge wages. And I just don't understand. This situation will come as a shock to Liverpool fans who saw Henderson lead their club to their first Premier League title in 30 years. And Jordan Henderson said many times that he wants to retire at Liverpool. And I mean, if Liverpool and FSG take this too far, and if Henderson ends up leaving Liverpool, that will be another nail in the coffin of the Liverpool owners. And I mean, the only reason why Liverpool fans are not rioting against those owners is Jurgen Klopp and the success, and also the whole ethos and the everything that Jurgen Klopp built around Liverpool is basically saving the Liverpool owners' asses, because time and time again they proved that they just don't get football. They don't get Liverpool Football Club. They don't get the fans and what the fans want to see. And it's very worrying that James Pearce, who is basically a mouthpiece of Liverpool FC, the mouthpiece of the owners, he was fed information when he says, and I quote James Pearce, "There is uncertainty over Jordan Henderson's future at Liverpool FC. Talks over a new contract have taken place since the end of last season, but no real progress was made. His current deal expires in 2023. And that is just absolutely unthinkable. Some Liverpool fans are saying that Liverpool will only offer him an extension to 2024, so basically a 1 year extension. And Liverpool Football Club will have a huge problem if that is the case, because yes, it's well and good not giving big extensions to aging players, but eventually they are going to have to sign some new blood in midfield as well. Losing Wijnaldum and Henderson in the same transfer window would be just absolute disaster. It would be the biggest car crash of a transfer window. No matter who Liverpool sign, you can't replace two of your most influential and two of your best midfielders in the same transfer window and expect a similarly successful next 3 or 4 years. And this is now very worrying, because if you can't give the club captain, the biggest legend right now at Liverpool, a new contract, what can Salah expect? If we are not giving Salah a new contract and he leaves to Real Madrid or Barcelona, then the owners are done, because Liverpool will not win many trophies in the next 4 years if we let Jordan Henderson and Mo Salah go. And that could result in an avalanche of big players leaving Liverpool. That would mean Alisson could leave in the next 2 years. Virgil van Dijk could leave in the next 2 years, because they all don't want to stay at the club which doesn't value its best players with new contracts. Don't tell me there is no money left to even extend the contracts of Salah and Henderson, because Liverpool will play Champions League football next season. What would have happened if we finished outside of the top 4? Because right now even we're finishing inside of the top 4 and there is talk of Henderson being sold. What is going on at Liverpool? Seriously, who is managing these finances? It's absolutely unthinkable what is happening, honestly. So can anybody tell me what is the reasoning and what is the logic behind Liverpool Football Club briefing very, very prominent journalists in Liverpool journalism stuff like this? What possible benefit does it do for the owners and for Liverpool Football Club with the fans? Like, if Henderson is leaving, or there is no good way of breaking that to fans, I understand that, but doing it this way, starting with oh, by the way, your captain you all love and adore, he might leave, negotiations are ongoing, but yeah, the manager you love, Jurgen Klopp, wants him 100% to stay, but it's not up to him. The deal with it, and it's just absolutely ridiculous. And also, how will Jurgen Klopp feel knowing that he wants his key players to stay and he has no say in them staying or going? Even if he tells the media and everybody, I want Wijnaldum to stay, I want Ozan Kabak to stay. Ozan Kabak is not signed for a measly £8.5 million. Seriously, that would be one of the biggest bargains of the last 10 years, signing a caliber of Ozan Kabak for 8.5 million. But I get that we signed Konate instead. That's fine. Jurgen Klopp wanted Wijnaldum to stay as well, and he's just let go. Liverpool didn't want to pay enough wages for Wijnaldum, and now they don't want to pay enough wages for Henderson. They don't want to give Henderson another 2 years. Can you seriously say Henderson, at 33 years old, with how committed and how professional he is with off the pitch behavior? I'm talking about never going out partying. You can never see any stories about Jordan Henderson in the media, any bad stories. And the way that he handles himself, the way he behaves on and off the pitch, the kind of leader he is, that's the kind of man you want to stay at Liverpool until the day he finishes playing and even beyond. Do you seriously say you don't want to give him another 2 years? Do you seriously say Jordan Henderson will be finished as a footballer at 33 years old? What on earth are you thinking, FSG? What on earth are you thinking, whoever is responsible for new transfers and new contracts at Liverpool? I think it's different. New contracts, probably there is a guy who is negotiating new contract at Liverpool FC. Whoever that guy is, I want to have a word. Come outside, let's talk. Come on. I mean, this is not on. What you are doing is absolutely unthinkable. To have the captain, the leader, club legend Jordan Henderson Henderson leave at just 33 years old, and this is absolutely incredible. Let's talk about the positives. Maybe Liverpool are waiting until we get new contracts with Alisson, Van Dijk and Salah sorted, and maybe after that we will see how many players we sold this summer, how much money we have left, and maybe then we will give a new contract to Henderson. But Henderson deserves a new contract, no matter the financial situation of Liverpool. He should be one of the first players to get a new contract at Liverpool. So I mean, this was an absolute like bomb dropped down on the Liverpool fans today. I'm still a little bit shell shocked, and I still can't really believe that this is happening. I will be absolutely gutted when Henderson leaves Liverpool Football Club, or whether he retires at Liverpool. I really seriously think that he doesn't want to get 1 or 2 seasons at another club, even if it's in the MLS. I get why Gerrard wanted to do it. He still thought he can play and start for Liverpool regularly, and he wanted to play regularly, and also it was a nice break from Liverpool for his family as well. That adventure for Steven Gerrard in the MLS was a really nice break for his family, but I just don't understand why Liverpool are not giving Henderson a new contract. Yes, he will play probably less, but you look at James Milner, he's on the bench most of the time and he got a new contract, so why not give a new contract to Henderson? Maybe what Liverpool want to do is just extend Henderson's contract by 1 year, and then when there is still 1 or 2 years left on his contract, then we will keep extending his contract by 1 year, so that way Liverpool are not locked into a long contract with an older player. That's the only rationale that I can think of that Liverpool are doing this, because they don't want to end up in a situation where there is a player who is on big wages and he is sitting on the bench, because and he's not contributing really to the team, because that is the worst case scenario. But you have to make some exceptions to some players. But that's the ruthless business of football. It's now a business. It's not about club legends. It's not about the fans. It's about numbers and on a spreadsheet, and it's about profit and sustainability. And that's the cold hard truth, that football is now mainly a business, and if Henderson at 34 years old will not start regularly at Liverpool don't want to pay him big wages. That's the cold hard truth probably behind this. But this is a very, very dangerous game that FSG and Liverpool are playing. So let me know what you think about this. I would love to hear your thoughts. I will put other Liverpool news in the next video that I will make on transfers, but I just wanted this video to dedicate it to this topic alone, because it really made my blood boil to see Henderson being talked about getting sold this summer transfer window to PSG or Atletico Madrid. I mean, come on, man, that's just unthinkable. Come on, Liverpool, give him a new contract. I will keep you guys posted and updated, so make sure to stay subscribed, and thanks for watching, guys. Have a nice day. See you later, guys. Goodbye.